Bum, 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 bum. We're in the Orange Islands. Enjoy some festivities. We're gonna have ourselves a wave pool and also on the beach. That's right, we have a wave pool on the beach. That's inefficient, you might say, but I don't give a f***. We're on the Orange Islands where nothing matters because this is a pointless season. Hi, welcome to the show. I'm Nick.
And I'm Forrest. And this is the Pokebears podcast where we review the Pokemon anime 4 episodes at a time.
Adult men reviewing a children's show.
As if it was not a children's show, but
something to be taken seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
Like other Pokemon things.
As children's shows should be taken seriously. So...
Rugrats should be taken seriously?
Huh?
Rugrats should be taken seriously?
Well, the fact that you're entertaining children should be taken seriously.
Oh, okay. It's not the shows themselves. Okay.
Because the Orange Islands really needs to take themselves seriously, to be honest. These, the last 4 episodes were actually really kind of bad. All right, Nick, are you ready to talk about this week's episodes?
Yeah, but unfortunately, this batch of episodes was better.
Oh, yeah.
They were way better.
Without question, they were better. Without question.
Oh, my God. Yeah, they were way better, because the one thing that almost ruined it ended up not even being a thing.
Let's start with the first episode. First episode.
Fit to be tied.
Episode number 87. So this episode opens up with Ash and company riding on Lapras and going somewhere.
Several knots an hour.
To
somewhere. Some destination.
Hoping that they are heading toward land, I guess. Did they have a plan? Did they ever say where they're going?
They did not.
Okay, I'm just
Pikachu almost drowned. So once again, maybe if it was kept in a Pokeball, they could avoid that.
Maybe.
But no.
But no, it's gotta walk around. They might have said where they're going, and I just missed it.
They did not, though. They didn't. They just said they were on their way to the Orange Islands League quest thing. Yep.
And then Ash is like, I'm really hungry, and Chasey's like, well, let's go to Mike and Ike Island. And then they're like, oh, well, okay.
I don't think it's actually called Mike and Ike Island.
No, it's called Mike and Ike Island, I remember.
It's Mike and Island.
No, it's Mike and Ike. and Tracy's like, well, let's go there. There's even a gym there. And I'm like, why weren't you going there in the first place then? Were you just like sailing around hoping that eventually you'll come across something?
Well, maybe it's a Viridian City situation where they were on the verge of going to the first island, but then they said, oh wait, we need to eat. Let's go to this island way the f*** over there.
No, they had to visit Misty's sisters again.
Yeah. Misty's sisters were there, and Ash was like, no, I'm done with this. And then he shotgunned them and all in the face, and they're dead. And Misty said, wow, I'm a bit sad, but now I'm realizing they were truly evil. So it's going to take some time, but I'll get over it. Thank you, Ash.
Some weight is off her shoulders.
And then Tracy said, it is our pleasure. Because that's about the quality of how he speaks. But that didn't happen.
They get to this island, and they're like, oh, there's a gym over there. So they're running towards the gym. Ash is all happy. He's like, yeah, I'm going to challenge the gym. Then he sees a coconut, and he's like, oh, look, a coconut.
I'll crack it open and drink the milk.
And I'm like, what? Okay, ADD much, Ash? What the hell?
He's 11.
I know, but take some medicine for that. I'm gonna go to Disneyland. A tree!
But turns out the coconut was booby-trapped. Why? To test trainers' fortitude?
Because they don't want people who can get distracted by a fucking coconut to get into the gym.
That's fair, actually. but the kid who comes up and says, ha, you fell for my trap. That's what he sounds like. I am not joking. Do we ever find out his name?
Much.
Do we find out his name? We don't. Right? You're doing faces that make me think no.
If he has a name, I forget what it is. Because they mentioned it once. And then the kid, served no purpose for the entire episode.
He did, peephole contraptions.
Yes.
He was the assistant to the gym leader person.
Supposedly.
Or he was her brother. Sissy, they said her name, which is a weird name.
It's a terrible name. Sissy says, "Yeah, I'm the gym leader here, and you can challenge me." And Ash is like, "All right, let's do that." And then he's like, "Oh, another coconut." And then we spend the rest of the episode with him looking at a coconut.
By the way, I just want to point out that Team Rocket has a Magikarp sub, and I find that funny.
It is funny.
Because it used to be a Gyarados.
Okay, so I almost forgot about this until just now. Because, I mean, I don't know why I keep forgetting stuff that has to do with Tracy. He's so, like...
poignant?
I don't even have a good, like, adjective to say in jest. Like, he's a boring character, okay?
Oh, no, he's the worst.
He sketches things. That's his character.
His last name is Sketch It, so of course,
Yeah. Well, Ash's last name is Ketchum, but he doesn't catch.
But he's a trainer.
Yeah, his last name isn't Train It.
What's Misty's last name?
Squirt.
Well, her first name's Misty, so... God.
I might have to bleep that out. That sounds pretty gross.
Can you imagine that? Like, oh my God, what the f***? We're not having sex for like a month. You need to get that checked out. It's just what my body does. No! No! Not like that.
So anyway, I forgot that this happens. We got a little off the rails there.
A little bit.
I forgot that this happens, but Tracy starts sketching Sissy. And then we cut to him sketching, and he's like drawing in the details of her boob.
Oh, and his face is like
so determined.
He's grinning like it's an evil grin. It's like
I'm not making this up. I'm not being facetious. He is drawing in the details of her boob.
Well, he already drew the rest of her pretty well. Tracy's a really fucking fast.
Yes, he is.
Sketcher.
It's like instantaneous. He's there. It is.
I mean, I guess when you invest all of your person points in sketching,
like that is your personality, is sketching things, and yeah, you're gonna be fast at it.
Yeah. So then it turns out they don't do regular battles like they do in the stupid Indigo League. They test the Pokemon like athletes. Because she has a water gun contest that she'll put challengers through. Which, you raised up a good point. What if the person doesn't have a water Pokemon?
Yeah.
Or even a Pokemon that knows water gun?
Yeah, like what if he's like, wait, I have a fucking Lapras that knows Hydro Pump, Lizard, Sing, and Thunderbolt. It doesn't know water gun. What do I do? Like...
Well, then I guess you lose.
But... this is really dumb. I'm not going to make it forget Hydro Pump and teach it water gun. Like, it's dumb, lady.
Guess you should have thought about that.
Well, okay, I guess I'll go catch, like, a fucking tentacle and teach it water gun so that I can do this.
Good luck beating my gym with that weak tentacle. There's no way I can lose. I've rigged it so that way I win against every challenger. I am the worst kind of gym leader.
Yeah, your gym is dumb, lady. Your gym is dumb.
So Squirtle's apparently really good at doing bullshit water gun tricks.
Well, I love how they start doing the all right, we gotta do the water gun, and it's such a compelling like scene that the director of the show decided to cut away to Tracy sketching and being like, maybe if my sketches are good enough, I can send them to Professor Oak for review.
Oh yeah, because Tracy has an internal hard-on for Professor Oak.
Yes. This is happening in the middle of like the gym stuff.
Oh, I have to point this out. Psyduck actually made me upset. Like, and
now it just appeared?
It just appeared and it was just like around with the GS ball. I'm like, Psyduck, no, this is not what you do. Why?
You don't pander, Psyduck. You're better than this. Come on, man.
This is the first time Psyduck's actually made me like, Psyduck, stop it.
Right?
Every other time Psyduck shows up, I've been thrilled, exhilarated.
But this time was just disappointing. And again, it's just taking away from what could be an interesting like deviation from the typical gym routine.
Well, let's not get that far.
Well, hey man, they're shooting at cans with a water gun. Wow, when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh, but then also those shotgun pole things, those frisbee things you shoot in the air.
Oh, yeah.
They have that. And that's what the brother does. He does that.
Yeah.
See, he does something.
He does something? Yeah, she couldn't just operate that herself. All right, shoot these. Pushes his button.
Well, how could she have Seadra do them?
She's not holding Seadra. Seadra can do things
Yeah,
on
but
its
like
own.
she's gonna pull them and then like simultaneously tell Seadra to pull these.
We're getting way too in
She's
depth
rigging
with
the
this.
system at
We're
that
getting
point.
way too in depth with this. This could just get on to when they start the race.
Okay, because they tie.
Yeah.
That means that Ash didn't win, which is bullshit. Because if your skills are able to match the gym leader, that means
should
you're
win,
good.
Yeah.
You deserve the badge, but whatever. Apparently not. F off, sissy. So then they have a sea race from some buoy and then back.
Yep. So they get on the Pokemon, and then Team Rocket appears.
And then they leave.
And then they leave.
Because they try and catch your Blastoise. They do. They get caught in seaweed again. By the way, they got caught in seaweed earlier and were stuck in the bottom of the ocean and just rose up and then captured Blastoise. So now you're caught up. So then Blastoise is like, oh hey, they're out of the submarine to try and fix it. Great, let's f***ing drown them using water pressure. So then he jumps up back to the coast, dragging the submarine and Team Rocket along with them. And then Pikachu uses Thunderbolt by putting its tail in the water, which is kind of dumb.
I mean, water conducts electricity.
Yeah, but why don't you just fucking shoot out the Thunderbolt from your face to the submarine? Why do you have to do the third step?
Because Pikachu's lazy, man. He's lazy today.
Okay.
I could just put my tail in the water. Pikachu, there we go. I just shad them away.
Seems like more work, because all that an ocean worth of water is going to dilute the electricity, won't it?
Not in this show.
Okay.
Alright, so that's the Team Rocket. And I think we spent more time on Team Rocket than the episode did.
Yeah, we did.
They do the race. It's pretty fun. Ash is riding Lapras, and she's riding her Blastoise.
Oh, and the kid fucking keeps elongating his sentences, cheering the sister on, and I fucking hate it. Go, sissy! That's what he sounded like.
Yeah, he was an annoying little character, wasn't he?
He was
not fun.
not fun at all.
Not fun. Well, while they're racing, they're like bumping into each other, trying to take the lead. It's pretty fun, like a little pod race or something.
Oh, and you have to stand on your Pokemon.
And you have to stand on your Pokemon. They go around like the buoy, and they're on their way back, and then a giant wave comes, and Lapras freezes the wave on his part.
Yeah, and then the wave crashes on the Blastoise, and then she's like, Blastoise, f*** this shit! And then Blastoise catches her, and then they're back in the race.
Yep.
And then they catch up, and apparently speed means nothing.
Yeah, the Blastoise is really freaking fast, but then like as soon as they like get to the same like place, once they catch up to each other, every time they catch up to each other, they just like slow down and they're just like neck and neck again. I don't get it.
But then Blastoise did actually start passing them, so Ash was like, "Oh, hey, since you know Ice Beam, apparently, Ice Beam
a path for us to slide on." And so Lapras does, and that's how Lapras wins.
Yeah.
And it's a really close race.
It only won because it's a Lapras and was able to elongate its neck.
Yeah. Hey, whatever wins the race.
So yay, Ash got his first badge, and it's
seashell badge.
It's the
Coralie.
It's the Coralie, something like that.
It's the Coriolanus badge.
It's the clam. It's the eye clam. I don't know. It's some big fucking thing with an eye in it.
It's a seashell with a jewel in it. It's a badge.
And they say, yeah, all of the Orange League badges are seashells. And then Ash says, that's stupid. And then Misty's like, that's cool. I want one. I should battle her. And then Ash is like, fuck you, Misty. You have to be a good Pokemon trainer. And Misty's like, what does that mean? And then Ash says, you know exactly what it fucking means. You fucking amateur. You know nothing about Pokemon battling. You have a team consisting of only one type, Misty. You have a Pokemon that you claim to not have any fucking moves. What the do you expect me to think, Misty? Do you think that I should take you seriously because your sisters are gym leaders? No, Misty. You need to shut up. I'm not going to give you your bike. You've given me your bike's worth of grief over the years, and I don't need it anymore. Get the off my Lapras. And then Misty kills herself. And that's the end of the episode. And Tracy says, wow, that's really up, Ash. You do the same thing, Tracy. And then Tracy does the same thing.
Nick, are you okay? Do you need help?
And then Ash
Do you need a hug?
just goes on with the rest of his
I can hug you, Nick.
League. Nah, I'm good right now.
Okay.
I'm actually... That made me smile a lot.
Holy shit.
How much of that is going to be captured in the podcast?
I don't know. I'm inconsistent with how much I cut out.
Wonderful.
The last part of this, the very last part of this episode I want to point out was the narrator says, will all Ash's badges be this difficult or this easy? And Nick goes, what are you saying, narrator?
What does that mean?
What does that mean? And I was like, it means the narrator's drunk and wasn't paying attention to the episode.
Because was this considered easy, I guess, compared to a battle?
Yeah, well, I guess it depends. Compared to Blaine, this was easy. But compared to Giovanni, this was hard. Or Team Rocket's not bad, whatever. Yeah. So, what'd you think of the episode overall, Nick?
I gave it 2 Voltorbs.
Gave it 2. Why 2? Tell me about it.
I would have given it 3, but the fucking little brother was annoying as fuck.
Yeah.
Team Rocket...
I'm glad he wasn't in more of the episode.
You know how you say Team Rocket is there to usually waste time?
Yeah.
Team Rocket was there to literally waste time.
Yeah.
They did nothing.
Yeah, man. That's so true.
If they weren't in this episode, the exact same fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very true.
And as you may say, it's compelling to not have straight up battles. A water gun match?
It's at least a variation. It's interesting that they do something different.
But you could do so much more with that.
They could. I really agree. They could have done a lot of different things.
And plus, if someone comes in with a hydro pump, couldn't they just theoretically blast all the cans in one go and be like, one shot? Boom.
Flips them off. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, I initially gave it 3, but talking about it, it doesn't really hold up a whole lot, does it?
No.
I'm going to give it 2.5. Because the reason why I'm giving it 2.5 is because I was really digging the race. I was really into the race part of it.
That was a good race.
It was fun. I had fun with that part. And I do like the idea of doing things other than battling with the gyms. Especially if you're going to invent your own league, the idea of, doing something other than battling with the league, I find that interesting. So I'm giving it to the creators of the show for that at least.
Okay.
So I'll give it 2.5 Voltorbs.
That's fair.
Next episode.
Episode 88. Pikachu Re-Volts. Get it? Because it's electric type and it's volting.
I get it.
So it revolts.
I get it the first time I read the name of the episode.
Well, I'm glad.
So in this episode, they get to Mandarin Island, which, you show for that pun.
Because it's Mandarin.
Mandarin is a language, and every island in this
has N
season
in its name.
Ends with N.
N, yeah. What about Mike and Ike?
Actually, the name of the island was Mike and Ike Island.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, I was a little off with the name of that one.
Gotcha. Not just Mike and Island.
No, it's Mike and Ike Island.
Gotcha.
I like Mike and Ike Island. That sounds fun.
I would go there.
Mike and Ike Island.
Mike and Ike Island.
I don't know why, but I feel like it'd be an island full of gay people. Just being fun.
I mean, yeah, Mike and Ike are having gay sex with each other, and they invite other gay men.
So they get to the island and they get off the boat. They get off at Lapras.
Well, not to go to the island. They're on Lapras, and Tracy says, "Oh, there's an island," and Ash is like, "Where?" And then he pulls some binoculars away from Tracy. Says, "Doesn't look like an island. Just looks like a bunch of towers floating on the sea." And Ash, what do you think towers use to float on the sea with? Maybe they use, I don't know, an island.
Ash doesn't know how islands work.
No.
Or cities, apparently.
So yeah, now they get off.
So they get, yeah, and this is super interesting because Pikachu and Togepi both start kind of wandering away from Ash and company, and
Well, because they were about to go help some guys who were being attacked by their Voltorb, Grimer, and Magnemites. But then, then they start to wander, and
then they start getting mean, and then
they get mad face.
Yeah.
Pikachu has the best mad face.
He does. He is adorable as shit.
Like, Togepi tries, but Pikachu just fucking captures it.
It's pretty great. So Pikachu zaps Ash, and then they both disappear. They're gone. Poof.
And the Voltorb uses self-destructs, and they all disappear. And then Jenny shows up.
Yep, and she has a Ghastly.
She has a Ghastly. Oh, but they have different uniforms in the Orange League.
Yeah.
They're light blue.
I like them.
They're
nice.
Nice little aesthetic change.
Their mini skirts should be even shorter, though.
Because they're in the tropical islands?
Sure, yeah. We'll go with that.
Her voice just, We disagree completely on this topic.
I know, it's weird. Completely disagree on her voice. I like it.
And I hate it.
It's so sad.
Well, see, this won't be a good podcast if we agreed all the time with it.
Yeah, that's true.
So
f*** you, I'm right. Her voice is sexy as shit.
Okay, if you like the 80s pop retro, I don't fucking know. It's annoying. That's all I can say. So then they're like, oh, maybe we should fucking figure out what the is going on.
Yeah, so they go to the Pokemon Center. No, they go to the office.
Yeah, and then they call Professor Oak, because apparently he's the only one who knows anything.
Yeah.
Ever. They call Professor Oak, and Ash is like real eager to go and find Pikachu. Then Professor Oak's like, you don't even know where to start looking, Ash. And then he says, oh, I guess I don't.
And then Tracy has an idea or something. Isn't that right?
Whoa, I just wanted to point out, Professor Oak says, I guess not is right, with a f***ing sass face. He's like, yeah, no, I'm a professor for a reason, Ash. F***ing listen. And then Tracy has some idea. I don't f***ing know. It's Tracy. Who cares?
And then Ash, shakes him by the shoulders, and Tracy's like...
But why, Tracy?
And Tracy's like, dude, f*** off. Which is kind of mean, really, because, Ash lost his
he is in
closest
turmoil.
Friend, yeah. And Tracy's like, get over it. Voice actor just completely went with a different direction with his performance, too. He's like, Jesus, Ash, get over it.
At least he had personality.
Yeah, at least he added personality this time. God forbid Tracy shows any kind of personality.
But then we cut to Team Rocket.
Yeah, but not Team Rocket. It's Team Rocket.
Right. Team Rocket
Team
with
Rocket.
Jesse and James.
No, it's not them. It's...
Oh, wait. Well, we first saw them when, they got on the island the first time. That Team Rocket.
Oh, that Team Rocket. Yeah, because then Meowth starts walking away, too.
Exactly.
And they're like...
But why did why they were in the city? They had been on the island for at least 5 minutes. Why did the Meowth suddenly have the psychic change thing happen to it? Why didn't that happen back on the coast?
Plot contrivances, man.
Oh, okay. And they call it the Big Orange.
That's why it didn't happen on... They had to get in the gag of the Big Orange.
Ah, okay.
That's why. Duh.
Team Rocket has full immunity until they use their jokes.
Until they start using gags, they have full immunity, full plot immunity to everything.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So then Meowth just leaves.
Yeah. So
and
then
then
Meowth just
they follow them. Here's what happens.
Okay, because...
they follow Meowth into the whole warehouse factory thing that Butch and Cassidy are hiding out in. And Jesse and James say, hey, who are you? And then Butch and Cassidy reveal themselves as Butch and Cassidy. And then they say, hey, we hear you're being fired because, let's be honest, you f*** up every f***ing time you do anything. And then they say, well, I guess that's true. But no, we're going to steal these Pokemon that you stole because you already showed us your master plan of using a Drowzee to hypnotize all the Pokemon.
That Drowzee was great.
That Drowzee was so f***ing great.
Oh,
I want this Drowzee to come back.
Yes.
In all episodes.
Of all the Pokemon to never make another appearance, this Drowzee was amazing.
So Jesse and James send out, I'm going to call them TR1. So TR1 sends out all of their Pokemon, Victory Bell and Lickitung included.
Yep.
But then Drowzee uses its hypnosis psychic bullshit. So then they go under the spell, and then they're all about to be attacked, but then fade to black, and then we see them wake up in the Officer Jenny office thing.
Yeah. It's like a hospital / police station
Yeah.
/ I don't know.
/ convenience building.
Yeah, whatever the animators needed it to be at that particular moment, that's what it was.
So I guess they just teleported outside of the...
I don't know.
They blacked out, and then we saw them with Ash and company.
They blacked out, got and then they threw them away, and then they were found by Ash and company.
Exactly. James complains about a sore spot on his ass.
Damn it. So TR1 just kind of decides that we're giving up. They've beat us.
And then Ash is like, hey, you should tell us how the to, get your Pokemon back.
And then Team Rocket 1's like, yeah, I guess we should, really.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. So then they do. And they lead him to Butch and Cassidy's hideout.
And they're pushing a cart with Pokeballs in it.
Yeah.
And they have, like, the cutest faces of, trying to be friends with them. Like, James is, like, doing a little frown, and Jesse's doing a little, like, happy, tiny mouth face.
Yep, it's pretty great. So they get in, they're like, we got presents for you, let us in. And they're like, Jesse and TR2's like, well...
We could use the Pokeballs.
We could use Pokeballs, so they let him in. And then, as they're coming in, before they get there, Ash, Officer Jetty, and Misty all pop out of the...
Well, they push the cart toward them, and then they pop out of the cart.
Pop out of the cart.
So they have momentum.
Yep. And they're like, haha, we're here, and we're going to stop you guys. And Butch and Cassidy are like, how you planning on doing that, yo?
We have one Ghastly, which, thanks to very little knowledge of how typings actually work, is immune to your psychic effects.
Yep. How fortunate for them. So
this Ghastly is able to, like, form a barrier with, like, made out of electricity, water, and fire in an inferno. And it's like, Ghastly, no, that. And he's, like, doing, like, this battle with Drowzee as well. And it's ridiculous.
But it's great.
It's great. Like, but holy shit. Why is this Ghastly so fucking strong?
I don't know.
Why is that Drowzee so fucking strong?
Out of 3 episodes that we've seen Ghastly in, we finally see an episode where Ghastly is able to battle, and it's amazing. Loved it.
And this Drowzee, by the way, like, the whole time they're talking... Oh my god, his movements
are great.
It's like just dancing, like, Drowzee. This is how I
usually in the background, yeah.
Woo!
It's like doing, like, snake arms and shit. Like, it's great. You, like, just... If you've already watched this episode, good. Just go back and enjoy, like, the Drowzee. Just watch the Drowzee.
Just make the Drowzee a GIF, and just have that be like your. I'm gonna make that the new Pokebears Twitch, the GIF thing. Does Twitter support GIFs?
I don't know.
Probably.
There's one way to find out.
There is one way to find out, and I did make like an official me Twitter that I need to start using.
Yeah, then you need to start using it.
Yeah. I'll say my stuff at the end of the podcast so people can follow me and stuff.
There
and
you
then
go.
I'll link that to Pokebears, and then it'll be nice.
There you go.
Okay.
So anyway, Drowzee's amazing, is what we're saying. Drowzee's amazing in this episode. So Ash gets a great idea. He actually has a good idea for once, because Pikachu's like trying to zap him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Pikachu. So Ash
is baiting Pikachu.
Baiting Pikachu. Pikachu's following him, and I was actually like, wait a second, what is Ash doing?
And everyone else is
weird.
like, Ash is losing his mind.
But no, he did have a plan, because he goes like in front of the Drowzee, right? And then Pikachu zaps him, Ash moves out of the way, and faints the Drowzee, so all the Pokemon are now out of the spell.
Free, and Drowzee can't hypnotize them.
Yep.
Because it destroyed the
machine
contraption that Drowzee was
helping
attached to.
Yeah, helping it do it. Because of that, they like free all the Pokemon, they're leaving, and that Ghastly breaks through a fucking metal barrier. Just like, boop.
Well, can I just point out Jenny's detect skills? Ash asks her, so were there any other Pokemon? Nope. I checked. When? I just did. Okay, sure? Jenny, there's probably like a whole fucking... This is a city full of people who have lost their Pokemon, but there's only like 15 Pokemon with you. So there should be more.
Building. There could be like an downstairs or something. No, there's not.
Okay.
Are you sure? Yeah.
So if the building explodes and crashes down...
No Pokemon are going to be suffocated and crushed to death? Nope.
Okay.
All right. So after the building explodes, later on in like the post-credit scene, we
It
see
was
like
just a bunch of Pokemon carcasses
yes,
underneath like boulders and rocks.
exactly. It was pretty horrifying, actually. And I was pretty impressed that the animators went out of their way to show that. That was impressive.
But let's talk about this Drowzee fight.
This Drowzee fight at the very end, because Butch and Cassidy are like, "Ha, we're gonna have a final showdown because we want to." Ha!
You might have made our plan completely moot, but we're gonna kill you.
We're gonna fight you.
So then this Drowzee is fucking like phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's teleporting everywhere now.
Yeah.
And just scaring the shit out of Pikachu.
It uses Mega Punch.
And it just like
Destroys like 4
Pokemon in a
at
row.
a time. Yeah.
By the way, you asked what's the deal with Mega Punch
In the show.
in the show. Well, think about it. This is back in Gen 1. How many moves could a Pokemon have that were like worthy of teaching?
That's true.
So Mega Punch is
It's just one of like 6 moves that they could show.
Yeah.
I guess that's true. Still, use Psychic or something. I don't know. Anyway, and Butch Cassidy actually mentioned that this was a Drowzee that they had from their breeding center plan.
this is a competitive
It's a competitive
Drowzee.
Drowzee. Like,
This is a
IV
full
spread
IV
across the board.
It's got max EV attack and special attack.
Yeah, and speed apparently, and it can take a hit.
Like holy shit.
How did they end up beating the Drowzee? I don't remember.
Drowzee uses metronome at
Oh,
the same time
yeah.
as Togepi using
Togepi uses
metronome.
metronome.
And no one notices Togepi using metronome.
Yeah, which is important to point out.
So an explosion happens, and I guess everyone just guesses the Drowzee did it.
Actually,
They don't
The
say
Drowzee's
this.
metronome animation was great, by the way.
He's just waving his fingers like,
And moving his head back and forth.
I'm doing this.
Yep.
I've no.
And they actually, this was great because they actually build up the tension of like, oh, what's gonna happen while that Drowzee's doing the metronome.
They're doing like a whole like
It's
pan of like everyone doing their own thing.
yeah.
Like they silence over Ash, like
Yeah.
telling Pikachu to use Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
It's just the
It's
fucking
actually-
suspense.
probably the best edited sequence in the entire show so far. Very weirdly, in this weird like throwaway fucking filler episode.
Well, it's not completely filler, because the audience finds out that Togepi now knows metronome.
That's true. That is true.
It's a new move.
That is
Boom,
true.
boom, boom.
It's like I wrote down. It's like all the animation that for Drowzee that wasn't used in Hypno's nap time is used in this episode.
Yeah. Hypno's nap time would have been so much better if they had this Drowzee dancing.
Yeah, for real though. So yeah, that was the episode.
Let me make sure I don't have any notes. Changing time. Why is the Togepi fainted? Oh yeah, if we assume that it was the Togepi that used explosion metronome, why wasn't it fainted? Or
Maybe it actually wasn't Togepi. Maybe it was Drowzee that used it, and Togepi just learned metronome from the Drowzee.
Maybe.
Or maybe the metronome move that Togepi called was like growl or something, and no one notices because there's other stuff going on.
It's Growl, yeah.
Yeah.
They also didn't really close in on Togepi, and from afar, you could argue that it looked tired. Oh yeah. Tracy says, I can't help but notice, but every time Team Rocket wins, it's because they're on our side.
It wasn't even that. It was like, Team Rocket is on our side for a change instead of always being against us. It's like, Tracy.
You've met them 4?
No,
3?
like, this is the 3rd time he's ever seen them.
You've met them 3 times, Tracy. You can't. No.
You cannot make that call. You have not been in this situation long enough. That is a Misty line. You stole that line, Tracy.
Tracy, you're not charismatic enough to steal lines.
Yeah, like, it's not enough that you don't have personality. Now you don't have your own lines? F*** you, Tracy. So that's
I hate to end it on that note, but that...
Because otherwise, this was a pretty solid episode.
It was.
Okay, I'm not going to use the word solid, because this episode was kind of funky. But
Yeah, it had its inconsistencies.
This felt like one of those filler episodes we saw all the time in Season 1, where it was like all about one of Team Rocket's grandmaster schemes. But this is the one time
It was entertaining.
when it was entertaining. Like, my God.
And the Grandmaster scheme, that's a fucking good Grandmaster scheme.
Yeah.
Turn all of the trainer's Pokemon against the trainer, and you have control over them.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
I have to be honest, when Pikachu first started, like, disobeying Ash and being mean, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And then Pikachu and Togepi disappear, and I'm like,
it had intrigue.
what? Yeah, I was like, what's going on? This is fascinating to me now. And then, like, Team Rocket even has their own stakes in it because, like, they need to prove themselves against Butch and Cassidy again.
And their own Pokemon have been stolen.
And their own Pokemon, including Meowth, is, like, against them. So, yeah, it was interesting.
So how many Voltorbs do you give this?
I'm going to give it 3.
I'm giving it a 3.5.
Give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Mostly because the half is mostly because
The
of
half
Drowzee,
is because
right?
of Drowzee.
Drowzee was phenomenal. Drowzee made this episode so fun. But even besides that, like, it had decent energy.
It had decent energy. The plot was consistently moving.
Yeah.
Everyone had, like, pretty good lines to start with.
Yeah.
And we got to see what a competitive Pokemon looks like.
For real. I do have a lot of problems with this episode, but I don't really want to talk about it because, like, this episode overall, I really enjoyed it.
And
it's like regular filler problems.
Yeah, exactly. So, like
Butch and Cassidy, yeah, they're just not interesting characters to me, you know?
But
like,
could you see Jesse and James pulling off this plan, though?
No,
that is
of course
why
not.
they exist.
I know that's why Butch and Cassidy exist, but they could exist and still not be interesting characters. Like, there's a reason why they have Tracy existing in the group now, but doesn't mean he's automatically interesting.
I like how they always get Butch's name wrong.
Botch.
Yeah.
He botches the name.
They botched the name. But how many more variations of Butch can you get now?
I don't know.
Because, like, I think this one's the closest to Butch they can get.
Well, they've only been in 2 episodes.
Yeah, but, like, in the first episode, they said Butch, like, 4 different times.
Really?
I thought they did.
Yeah.
I'm
not going to go back and watch it, so.
About that episode, too. Yeah. But, yeah.
It was just a good episode.
Good episode.
Alright, episode number 89,
the Crystal Onix. So they find a Crystal Onix that's made out of crystal meth, and
that's not what happens. Don't start. Don't you start with me.
And Walter White
No,
comes
stop.
Says, I
No,
can't have that.
no.
And Jesse
No,
Pinkman says,
no.
Walt, don't you think we're going too
Stop
far?
That's not what happens.
I'd watch a Breaking Bad Pokemon crossover.
Jesus Christ. So every episode, I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Every single episode of this season is going to start with them, like, riding on Lapras to the next
because they're on islands, yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever.
I mean, the last season was them walking through the woods, lost.
Yeah, this is actually better. Yeah, never mind. I take it back.
So this actually makes sense. So they're on Lapras.
Yeah, Lapras.
And then they find a message in a bottle, and Ash is like, good catch, Lapras. And Lapras is like, it's not really a catch. It's on the ground. I just picked it up. I guess water was moving it, but still, whatever.
And Ash is like, oh, hey, it's talking about a Crystal Onix. It's signed by a girl named Marissa. Totally nailed it first try.
Go to Sunnyburst Island. Oh, hey! This wasn't in name in Island.
Are you actually writing down the names of the islands as we go along?
No, but I know it wasn't in Island. It was like Sunnyburst or something.
Oh, okay.
Sunburst.
I would have been impressed because I have not been doing that at all.
I haven't, but I can remember them for the most part.
Well, that's good. You have better memory than I do. So they get to the island and they find out that, like, everyone on this island is a glass blower?
Yeah.
That's just like a thing they do. Is like they all blow glass and sell it to each other.
It seems like a bad economy.
Yeah, glass run economy doesn't seem like the best idea. Whatever, it seems to be working for them.
Can we talk about briefly how bad of a fucking idea it is to send a message out via message in a bottle? If you want information on something, shouldn't you just, I don't know, send out a flyer or a poster?
Or hell, it seems like everyone in the community goes to this one little, like, glass blowing
area
market every day. So just be like, hey, you know anything about Crystal Onix? No? Okay, I guess I'll ask the next person.
Why didn't the grandfather, teach them where they saw the Crystal Onix?
Maybe he died very suddenly.
But if, like, I'm telling the story to my grandkids, I'm going to tell them where I saw it. I'm going to say, I'm not going to say,
I was
in a strange location that I don't know the location of. And I saw a Crystal Onix.
The bigger question is, why didn't, what's his name, Mateo or Marissa ever be like, hey, where did you see this Crystal Onix? Like, they listen to the story like, oh, Crystal Onix, that's cool. And he's like, waiting for them to ask where it is.
Well,
and then
I guess
they
won't
don't.
tell them.
He's like, I guess I won't tell them.
They must not care that much. Oh, so we see Marissa being fucking verbally assaulted by a grown-ass man. And say, what the f*** are you doing talking about a Crystal Onix? Don't you know dreams are stupid? You should give up on them. And then Marissa's straight up crying.
I know, he's like, alright, you guys still have your little stand right next to mine? What the hell, man?
Your business is shit. It's dragging my business down.
Your business is so bad it hurts my business. F*** off, kid. Where's your older brother? Tell him I said to have a nice f***ing day.
He's useless. He's not useless. Oh, you don't need to cry over it. And then Ashley comes here like, oh, hey, is she causing you any trouble? Nah. And he walks off. And then they start talking to the girl.
And she's like, oh, thank you for helping me get him away. And they're like, shut the f*** up, kid. If we want your opinion, we'll ask it.
And then she cries.
We'll beat it out of you.
How come I'm not able to talk about Walter White and you're able to continue the verbally assaulting a child?
Because my jokes are shorter in length than yours are. That's why. I get to the punchline much faster.
That's fair.
They meet Mateo, the brother.
And he's like, these are my statues. Then he picks up the Poliwhirl and throws it. Says they suck.
Nick is not exaggerating here. That's actually what happens.
Missy's like,
he doesn't say they suck, but
they don't.
Essentially is what he says.
Missy's like, they don't suck. And then he says, oh yeah, well check this out. Then he shows them like giant. Oh no, he shows them the Crystal Onix
statue. He's like, this is the kind of my
grandpa.
Sparkly. Yeah. He's like, this is the kind of my grandpa used to make, and they're like, oh wow, that's way better. Yeah.
Yeah, you were right. Your other stuff is shit.
You are terrible. Actually, he does bring up a good point because, like, yeah, like all my statues are basically just statues. They don't have any life in them. Mm-hmm. And I actually think that the animators did a good job, like, showing the difference.
They lack the spark.
Yeah, showing the difference between, like, his statues and the grandpa's statues with, like, very simple animation.
Well, also, all of the grandpa's statues were fully evolved Pokemon. If he just did that, I'm sure that would fix his problem.
Because he's, like, making statues of Pidgey, and people are like, oh, great, a Pidgey? Thanks.
I have a Pidgeot. Why?
Yeah, why do I need a statue?
I care about this?
Yeah, it's a statue of a Pidgey. So he tells them the story about the Crystal Onix and how his grandpa saw it. And they're like, oh, that's really cool.
And then his grandpa died.
Yeah. They don't say it, but they're standing in front of the grave of the grandpa, presumably.
I thought they said they did. He did.
No, they never said straight up that he died.
But
for all we know, the grandpa, like, abandoned them, went somewhere else, and then they stood in front of someone else's grave, like... Just imagining it's their grandpa dead so that way they can have some sort of closure with it.
I'm going to assume, because they're not psychopaths, that the grandpa died.
That's fair.
And not everyone is Brock's dad.
That is fair, too.
So the grandpa died, and then they're like... Oh, and it's revealed that the entire family has stupid hair.
Yeah.
Because Mateo has stupid hair, and then in the flashback, Mateo's grandfather has stupid hair.
Yeah, they all
and of course, Marissa has really stupid hair.
They all have stupid hair. It's a thing. They all have stupid hair, and adults verbally abuse them.
So then they agree to go help him find the Crystal Onix. They're like, oh, how are we going to do that? And then Tracy pulls out his magical fucking Venonat that has radar in its fucking eyes. And then they show it the shape of the Crystal Onix. Says, can you find something that looks like that? And Venonat's like, yeah, sure.
And then he goes and finds a thing that looks exactly like that.
Which is a bunch of boulders stacked up in the exact same fucking thing. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good job, Venonat. It's not what we're looking for, but hey.
Can you find another one? But instead of saying that...
How could you disappoint me? My magical bug that has a thing in its head that it normally should never have, ever? F*** off, Venonat. You're so stupid.
Tracy's mean to his Venonat, apparently.
Yeah.
The hell, man. And I want to point out that animation in the part where he, like, recalls Venonat and then sends out Meryl. His body is lifeless. He's, like, paler. He's got no emotion.
His face is just like,
He's just, it's weird. It was weird that they animated him that way. I guess they figured, well, he's got no personality anyway, so who gives a f***?
We could literally make him a cardboard cutout.
Exactly.
And no one would notice.
And no one would notice. In fact, they were probably like, oh, shit, did he just have a modicum of personality? Oh, no, it's cardboard cutout. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's probably why Venonat found the boulders. He actually thought it was Tracy.
Wait, there are 2 Tracys? What's happening? So it turns out Meryl has some bullshit super hearing.
Yeah. The was going on with that?
I don't know. All of Tracy's Pokemon just have like...
They're magic.
They're magic. Or we'll see in the future, not magic. The opposite of magic. You'll see. It's going to be an episode.
Oh, great. Can't wait for the great Tracy episode.
So...
Yeah, whatever. So they're following Meryl to get the... Then they fall down this hole. I just want to get to the hole part.
Okay, they're in a hole.
They fall down the hole. And Mateo says, he delivers this line so perfectly.
Do it at the same time?
Why not?
3, 2, 1.
What should we do?
Oh, it is what should we do. I'm sorry.
What should we do? And I was like, what was that line?
My theory is that wasn't the best take.
No.
They easily could have gone with other takes. But they decided that take because they were like, hey, you know what? F***ing guy who's playing the character of the day, that take was so bad that we're going to use that. And you have to use that in your f***ing voice reel. So that way people won't f***ing hire you and you'll never get a goddamn job again.
Actually, it's sad because I looked at his IMDb page. This guy's name is Buddy Woodward. He drops off the face of the earth after like 2004.
So he said, what should I do? And then he
disappeared. Forever. 5 years later.
Whoops. Buddy Woodward, if you're listening, somewhere out there, please come back to your family.
So yeah, he says, they fall into the hole, and Mateo's like, what should we do? And I'm like, you should have a fucking barbecue. What do you mean, what should you do? Get the out of the hole. What kind of question is that? Let alone the line delivery.
So it turns out Team Rocket's there.
And their plan was to build a hole.
And they're going to go try and capture Onix.
Except they don't because reasons? What happened?
They don't because the fucking Moses magic doesn't work for them or for some reason.
No. Like, how do they get... do they get out of the hole? And
oh, no!
I blinked and I missed that.
No, it's literally... Marissa's crying because they're not going to get the Onix, and now she's like, oh, don't worry, we'll go get the Onix, and then next scene, they're out of the hole.
They're out of the hole? Okay, so I'm not crazy, they're just... Alright, so whatever, they get to the...
It turns out Marissa has super strength, and can Hulk out into, like, a primate human hybrid, and she just threw them out.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They get to there's an island away from the island, like a little tiny island, and they're like, how are we going to get across this water? It's not like we have a swimming Pokemon that can carry all of us.
So the Meryl reacts, or possibly causes, who knows? It was weirdly timed animation.
It didn't, nothing tied into it.
But then for no reason whatsoever, if it wasn't Meryl, the water suddenly...
Parts,
the
like
sea
Moses.
parts, like Moses.
And then they just walk across, and I'm like, alright.
All right, you're taking this miracle very casually, but
yes, they are.
I guess the sandbar did it. Yep, it's a sandbar.
It's a sandbar now. All right, cool, whatever. And then they get to the entrance of this cave, and Team Rocket's there.
And they're saying, "Hey, we should be capturing that Crystal Onix."
But Team Rocket is like in a cage, and Meowth's hung by a tree, and
they got
James
caught
is
in
the
their
hole.
own trap.
They got caught in their own traps, and they're like, "Well, this is a thing." And Misty says, this exchange was amazing. Because Misty says, Team Rocket, why don't you pretend to be a tree and leaf? And I'm just like, oh my god, no. And James is like, ha, who taught you that one? Professor Oak? And I was like, yes.
And Misty was like, oh, that was good.
That was good.
That was when they were in the hole, though.
Oh, that was while they were in the hole. I'm sorry.
It wouldn't make sense for James to have, like, that fucking awesome of a burn at a disadvantage.
At a disadvantage, that's true.
But yeah, they passed by Team Rocket, who somehow fell in their own fucking trap.
Yeah.
Because they're Team Rocket.
And they just walk away from them.
And they go in the cave.
And then there's, like, a pool of water. And Tracy's like, did you see that? And Missy's like, yeah, it's a pool of water. We all see it. It's
no,
there.
I thought I saw something. And he did see something. He saw, like, eyes.
Yeah, he did. And then, turns out, it's the Crystal Onix! And it comes out of the water, and it's a crystal.
And
Onix.
it's immune to water.
And it's in the water. and it's immune to water. And that's a thing.
Mateo says, "Okay, Marissa, I trained this Pokemon to take down Onix, so don't be scared." And it's a cloister. Like, I understand it's a giant vagina. But, like, do you have to warn a child that you have a cloister? Okay.
So cloister can't do shit to the Onix.
Because it only knows water moves, and this Onix has, like, water absorb or something that nullifies water.
It is weird.
It has... Wait, it has dry skin.
Yeah, it's dry skin?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because it's weak to fire.
It was weak to fire. That's right.
So dry skin.
Because he sends out Charmeleon. He's like, this is the Pokemon I used to help me with my glass blowing, or whatever he says.
Mm-hmm.
And then Charmeleon he says he uses Ember, but it's clearly Fire Spin.
Well, he uses Flamethrower first, and then the Ember Fire Spin hybrid.
Ember is clearly Fire Spin. And it takes out the Onix. And then he, like, has this moment with the Onix where they, like, mind
vision.
meld. Yeah, they mind meld with each other or something.
Like, the Onix goes into Mateo's eyes. Mateo's eyes sees the Onix, and then, like, the Onix, like, skin crystallizes all the different Mateos, and just repeats. And the last episode had the best edited sequence. This is the best visual sequence.
Yeah.
Because it's just so ridiculous.
It is pretty ridiculous.
The smaller you go, the bigger the world is, and there's just some more worlds! So, Mateo's like, you know what? I don't need to capture this Onix. And then they're like, are you sure? If you don't capture it, it's probably going to be killed by other Onix or something.
Mateo's like, no, that's cool. And they're like, but it's there. It's fainted. You can, like, get it. It's going to be no problem. And Mateo's like,
I have the spark.
Yeah, I'm good now.
And they say, okay. And then the Onix is like, okay.
And the Onix swims away. And they cut back to, then they immediately back at his, like, glass blowing place, and Charmeleon's making the flame that makes the glass go. And Misty's like,
oh, so that's how Charmeleon helps him with his glass blowing. No, Misty. He breathes the fire, and Charmeleon handles the glassware.
God damn. This is, like, the dumbest thing Misty could have possibly said in that moment.
I don't know. Maybe Misty doesn't know how glass is made.
Obviously, she doesn't know how glass is made. Even though we had been watching people make glass, and she was the one that pointed out, oh, see, that's how they make glass. Earlier in the episode.
So, Mateo also had a pretty good, when he was trying to capture the Onix, he did a So, yeah.
It's weird because actually that voice actor was fine the rest of the time. It's just for whatever reason, those two
it's
line
his
deliveries.
exclamations.
Yeah. What should we do?
Mateo and Marissa walk the Ashen Company out of the town, and it's only then that I say, fix your fucking apron, Mateo. Because the entire fucking episode, his apron was like, only one of them was strapped on. The little strap things, whatever they're called.
They go on the apron.
That go on the apron. Only one of them was secured. So he should have been fixing that.
Yeah, he's a bum. He gave Ash a Pikachu sculpture, though.
A sparkling Pikachu
and he
sculpture
likes it.
that we'll never see again,
No,
probably.
we won't. Well, Ash probably is like, it's junk. Throws it away.
He feeds it to his Lapras.
Feeds it
Lapras
to
chokes
Lapras.
on it, and it's like, oh god! And then Lapras dies. And then that's when Lapras' family says, oh my god, we've been looking for this Lapras forever. Where did you find it? Oh my god, it's dead! And then they eat Ashen Company, and then the show's over.
How many Voltorbs did you give this episode, Nick?
I gave this one 3 Voltorbs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was the times it was bad were entertaining.
Yeah, that's true.
And it actually had like a story. Like they were trying to find this Crystal Onix, and I
enjoyed the mythology of it.
Yeah, mythology is awesome. It's good to see like pre-Alola versions of Pokemon.
Regional variants.
Yeah, regional variants.
Yeah, I would love this kind of like regional variant of Onix. Maybe not this exact thing, but like
so what would
a
it
fairy
be? Like
ground or something.
Fairy ground or water fairy.
Yeah, something like that, and then it still evolves into Steelix because logic. Like
Would the
regular
Steelix
Steelix?
be like It's
Just
only the
Steelix.
Alolan Onix,
Yeah.
but then regular Steelix.
I mean, hey, we got regular Cubone that evolves into Alolan Marowak. Why
Yeah,
can't
but
it go
like
the other way? Why
because
can't
the
it go
other way's
way?
boring. Why are you gonna keep? Why are you gonna like not have the pre-evolution? Why are you gonna have the pre-evolution when you could have the evolution?
Because Onix is an interesting concept, and it'd be cool to see it with other forms.
Onix
like a
is
gold
faster
Onix.
than Steelix.
Yeah.
But everything else about it sucks more.
Yeah. I gave this episode 2.5 Voltorbs. I just felt like there was like 5 minutes worth of story in this one, and then the rest was just garbage. And then Team Rocket was sort of in it, but then not really. And then like they didn't do much, and then their plans were nothing, and they got out of the hole, and then nothing happened, and I missed that part.
James is using Victory Bell more though.
James is using Victory Bell more. Oh my god, I forgot to talk about the last episode when he sent out Victory Bell.
Oh, and how it attacks him now.
Well, how it
How
attacked
it's
him.
been attacking him.
How they were like playing the music. It was the last one, right? When they were playing the epic music, and then Victory Bell starts eating James, and the music cuts out.
Yeah.
For that part, that was funny. That was funny. But then they broke the comedic rule of 3, and now it's just
There.
lame and there. Yeah.
It's a gag now.
Yeah, now it's just a gag-inducing gag
This is a gag that repeats itself
forever.
forever.
No,
Like all of James's subsequent Pokemon will do this.
wonderful. But I thought the episode, like, it had a really cool concept with the mythology of the Onix and everything. But I wish it had A, done more with it and been more about it, and B, had more plot that involved it.
Instead of crying children.
Instead of crying children and Tracy using Venonat to find it, and then Meryl to find it. And
Meryl!
then we get to Team Rocket, and they don't do anything. There's just too much nothing in between.
Venonat, how could you disappoint me? That's the line he says. Straight up.
Yeah. Next episode?
Next episode. Episode 90. We're now on 90. 10 away from 100.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
Mm.
We're going to be hitting episode 100 in...
3 episodes?
Three podcast episodes from now.
Yeah.
Wow.
We should do something special.
I'll bring a cake.
Great.
And we'll eat it
And we'll have like...
while talking.
Great. That'll be great.
That's episode
That'll be
100.
great radio noise.
Yes, it will. Can't
Okay.
wait.
Looking forward to that.
Can't wait. Episode 90, In the Pink.
In the pink. 2 in the pink. 1 in the stink.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one who thought of vaginas when I saw the title In the
I
Pink.
mean, it's pink. So it starts off with them on Lapras.
I'm Lapras again. And Tracy's like, hey, your Togepi's really interesting. Blah, 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 trying to make
But
me
it's
laugh.
weird.
And he's like, does it not know any moves? Or however he talks.
Does it not know any moves?
He's like a step away from being a robot every time he speaks. Like, I'm afraid that he's not a real person. That we're going to find out 3 episodes from now he's an animatron.
His face just comes off and it's just like circuits and
Well,
wiring.
he's so boring that no one notices, so they just kind of skip over it.
And in the background, Tracy's doing like all these destruction of worlds.
Yeah.
thing.
But they're just like, well.
Well, we have to deal with the Psyduck here.
Yeah, so we got other to do, Tracy. Come on.
And so Misty's like, well, it's not like I haven't tried. And then we see a flashback that never happened of her trying to teach Togepi how to use Headbutt. And then she knocks herself out. But obviously, Togepi was using Metronome.
Yeah.
But no one noticed it.
And then I was like, oh, maybe this episode is going to be about Togepi. Because they're building up the fact that they need to teach Togepi some moves. Well, we're not going to talk about this again for another, 12 minutes of the episode, so...
So let's go to fucking Pinkin Island.
Pinkin Island.
Because all of a sudden they get trapped in a whirlpool.
Yeah.
Which, are whirlpools, common out in the ocean?
They happen. There's a whirlpool somewhere that's been going on for, decades or something like that.
Where? Bermuda
I can't
Triangle?
remember. No, I can't remember where it is. It's somewhere weird. It's just been going nonstop for decades, and they call it a something. Yeah.
That's cool.
So they happen. I think they played with the whole notion of rock and a hard place, between a rock and a hard place. You know that Greek mythology where it's between the spiky rocks and the whirlpools.
I actually don't know that one.
It's supposed to be a saying, but the words are really long, so it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue really well.
Ah.
I'm gonna look it up and I'll put
Do
it.
the little fact check.
Yeah.
Forced fact check.
Yes.
Forced facts.
Forced fun facts of the day.
No, just call it forced fun facts. That way it's an only alliteration.
There you go. Thank you.
No problem. Marketing. That's my job.
So they get
I'm bad at.
there's like a cliff, and they decide to climb up the cliff, and then they get up the cliff, and Tracy's like, "Hey, look, it's a thing."
Well, Ash is like, "What's up there?" And then Tracy like curb stomps Ash, and then shushes him.
And Ash is like, "Why'd you do that?" And Tracy's like,
Curb stomps him again. Again, shut the f*** up.
"It's like, look, there's a pink Rhyhorn." And there's a pink Rhyhorn.
Missy's like, "Wow, are Rhyhorns usually pink? I'm not sure about that. Rock and ground Pokemon that might be pink? Huh."
And then Ash does a thing that he's been doing, which is he pulls out his Pokedex to check the information. I mean, this one I'll grant you because maybe he's just checking to see if, like, they're normally pink. But he did that in the other episodes, too. Like, I know for a fact he did it with Seadra. And he's battled Seadra before.
And Drowzee as well.
And Drowzee as well. And we had a whole thing about a Drowzee episode in the past. So come on. So he pulls out his Pokedex. He's like, "Oh, no, yeah, they're supposed to be gray, I think."
And Dexter's really snide about it. Like, of course it's only supposed to be gray. You'll get some gold variants every once in a while, but no, they're gray. Never pink.
Never pink.
Never pink.
This is weird.
Only idiots ask if they're ever pink.
So Tracy's like, "Well, I'm going to
Sketch it.
Because that's my last name and that's my personality."
So
sketch it.
So he does this whole like tracking bullshit ranger thing where he figures out where downwind is.
Downwind. So I must go this way.
And he
now
rolls.
Start drawing it. And he says the Rhyhorn is 8 meters long and 1 meter tall. Which the dimensions of that are fucking insane.
That Rhyhorn would have to at least be 24 feet.
I did the conversions. It would be 26 feet long by 3 feet tall.
No.
Nothing is that dimension. That's insane.
Are you looking at an Onix, maybe?
Like, what?
That's an Onix, not a Rhyhorn.
Nothing in the animal kingdom, and any animal kingdom, is 26 feet long by 3 feet tall. There's no object outside of a tree that could be that dimension. That's just absurd. That's stupid. That really bothered me. 8 meters long.
And then the horn's only like 20
tall.
centimeters.
Yeah.
So it's just like this little tiny thing on this long ass Rhyhorn. And it's like, kill me. I should not exist.
You idiot, Tracy.
So this Rhyhorn is curling itself around the tree because that's how it does it when it's 26 feet long. And it's eating berries. And Ash is like, and Ash does his fucking Ash thing. He says, "I'm bored. I'm gonna f things up to make it interesting." So then he says, "Hey, Rhyhorn, it's me, Ash Ketchum." And Rhyhorn's like upset because I'm eating here and I don't know who you are.
So it chases them. And then they're like, and they huddle around. And then Togepi uses Metronome and uses Teleport. Rhyhorn falls off the cliff and dies, and then they come back.
No. It lands in a tree bush.
That's right. It lands it. I'm sorry. I thought it died.
No, because then they have to spend 5 minutes rescuing it.
That's right. Oh, silly of me.
Because, okay, first of all, let's say how Tracy was really excited to get to this island, to be on this island, because no one's fucking explored it.
He says that
It's an uncharted island because of the whirlpools and the sheer cliffs.
Like, no one's ever explored or been on this island before. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Because there's an Officer Jenny who just rolls up and says...
In a Jeep!
In a Jeep! He says, "Hey, what are you kids doing? Stop it."
And Tracy's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I thought, like, no one had ever been to this island before." And Officer Jenny's like, "What, are you fucking stupid?"
Of course, we're in the modern world. Everything's been visited.
Don't be an idiot.
There are maybe 4 islands in the world that only the natives have been on.
Yes. So they are like, "Well, we gotta get this Rhyhorn up, so let's cut to Team Rocket, and then we'll get the Rhyhorn up, and then while they're
Sounds
cutting
good.
up."
Let's see that.
All
so
right.
that we see Team Rocket.
So they cut to our favorite character.
Oh, Jigglypuff.
Yeah.
Jigglypuff's like just in the ocean, floating.
Just floating. What was it doing before?
I don't know.
Was it just floating in the middle of, like, the Atlantic Ocean?
Well, the last time we saw it, it had fallen off into the abyss.
Yeah. So it's just floating around for days upon days.
It's a balloon. It doesn't need a lot of sustenance.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So then the Magikarp submarine plops it out of the ocean, and
Team Rocket comes out, and then they're like, "Hey, pink Pokemon." They're like, "Oh, hey, it's a pink Jigglypuff."
who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Wait a minute. Oh, they're always pink.
Jigglypuffs are always pink. And then Jigglypuff pulls out his microphone, and thank God Team
They
Rocket
run.
Yeah.
They're like, nope, we're getting rid of this guy.
And we never see Jigglypuff.
And then the Jigglypuff's
the rest
mad,
of the episode.
and then it's gone. It's gone. It doesn't matter anymore.
It does the thing it usually does, where it shows up for 3 seconds, and then we just don't even talk about it again.
They're in the right track. They're on the right track.
Well, the right track would just have to have Jigglypuff in the first place.
Well, that's the destination. We gotta get there. We can't just all of a sudden drop Jigglypuff.
yes, you could.
No. See, okay, here's what happens.
I wouldn't be sad at all.
Forrest, listen to me. So, here's the track for getting rid of Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's the character. Jigglypuff starts showing up less and less. Eventually we get to this part where it shows up for 3 seconds and then done. Then we see it in the background being gored to death by a Rhydon. And its microphone in a pile of Rhydon shit. And then they're like, oh hey, it's not Jigglypuff's microphone? Whose? And then that's it. That's how you get rid of Jigglypuff.
Okay, there you go. That's better. So my next note here is, whose story is this episode?
I don't know.
Because, like, we're not following any of the characters, really.
Like, we're jumping from Togepi to Tracy.
Yeah, to Ash, sort of, to the Rhyhorn, to then it's not Rhyhorn's story, then it's...
So then Jenny,
and then it's like... Then we're just going to talk about the pink fruit that turns all the Pokemon
the Pinkenberries.
The Pinkenberries. And,
It sounds like a cereal.
And if anything, the Pinkenberries were the main character of this episode.
And they're a berry.
Because then it's a berry. Like, that's all this... This is what the...
Congratulations, cast. You had less personality than food. And the Oscar goes to... fucking food. Fruit. The Academy's just really sad.
not so fast, James.
James is like in a nice little getup with glasses. And he's like so sad because he's been working his ass off for this. Well, then someone just chucks the berry up there, and it's next to the trophy.
Yep.
It's like, and then everyone claps, and that's the Oscars.
So Officer Jane shows them around the island after they rescue Rhyhorn. They're like, yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay, so they said... So Ash brought up a good idea. Why don't we just capture the Rhyhorn?
Yeah.
And Jenny says, oh, it's way too strong. You
gotta weaken it
him
first.
And then we see the Rhyhorn, and it's like...
sitting there. While
very
they're hoisting
weakly
it up.
sitting there.
While they're hoisting it up with the rope.
So they could have caught it.
They just could have caught it.
It's been dangling in a tree that should not be able to support its weight.
They should have caught
It's psychologically weakened. And at the very least, they could just see Squirtle, like, water gun down
and
the
then
cliff.
And they're like, oh, now we can catch it.
And then Jenny's like, why didn't I think of that? And then Ash could say, you're bad at your job. And then Jenny says, well, I got hired through nepotism, so it doesn't matter. And then Missy says no.
So Officer J just kind of spends the next, 8 minutes, 2 minutes...
driving them around, telling them that there's a whole city
yeah.
full of rangers who protect the Pokemon from poachers.
And Misty looks at Tracy and says, how the what do you mean that this area's not been explored?
I was wrong, okay? I don't have a personality. I can be wrong every once in a while, okay?
And we see a pink Diglett pop out of the ground, and I'm like, ew. Looks weird.
Now you know how it feels like to look at Diglett.
Oh, because that's...
My is the normal color of Diglett.
And mine is closer to the pink one.
Yeah. Now you know, now you've walked...
a mile in your shoes?
A foot in my shoes.
Or 8 inches. Because that's how tall Diglett is.
Ah, okay.
I wasn't talking about your I don't know how long it is. I don't need to know. Moving on.
That'll be the 100th episode.
So my next note here is, no, really, whose story is this? Because that's what they do. And they get to the Officer Jenny Ranger location, and they're like, hey, Professor Oak, there's pink Pokemon here? And he's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, this is a thing.
It's called Pinken Island.
Yeah, like, they eat pink fruit and they turn pink. Like, what? Yeah.
And because it's like, the Galapagos Islands, these are very ecologically
preserved.
Preserved Pokemon.
Yeah, that's not a big mystery, guys. Just,
Yeah.
they're pink.
You guys need to start calling me for more important shit.
Right?
I'm going to start screening your calls.
And then Muck, starts to hump Professor Oak off
He does what Muck does all the time.
Yeah, and we hear Professor Oak literally saying something like,
No, Muck, I'm on the phone.
No, stop, please.
And Tracy's covering his eyes.
He's horrified.
I can't believe my idol is subjugated to this.
The best gag in the episode.
And then they go to commercial break, and the Pokemon in the Who's That Pokemon is Kabuto. And Kabuto has the cutest cry.
Yeah.
Or something.
That was not cute.
No, but it was the cute version of that.
Kabuto is cute. It's
I don't know, do a sound clip in the editing.
yeah, okay, great.
Or just watch it, folks.
Yeah, or just watch it. Just that one part. They go back out to the park for some reason.
Because the alarm goes off.
The alarm goes off.
And says, oh, hey, there's intruders on an island. And could it be poachers? Probably. Okay.
Should we help you, Officer Jenny? Sure.
Sure.
This episode's still
for some
going
reason,
on.
I don't have anyone else on my staff. So let's...
And this episode's still playing, so you might as well come help and do something.
So then we see Team Rocket, and...
This is one of my favorite Team Rocket mottos.
But before they meet up with the Ashton Company, they have their whole fantasy of what they're going to do once they capture all the pink Pokemon.
Yeah,
and
it's like
in
a
their
minute-long
fantasy, it's a weird fucking fantasy.
It is.
It's they just have this...
It's like 1920s Broadway show.
Da, da, da. But hey, now we know that Team Rocket does enjoy cross-dressing, because it's in their fantasy.
They cross-dress in their fantasies.
So good for them.
Yeah, that's nice. And then they have one of my top 5 favorite Team Rocket intros, because they're just dressed up as a
pink Gengar
and a pink Rhydon?
Pink
Tauros. And they're fucking adorable. I was just like,
they're just in these giant costumes,
just doing their motto. And I was like, I just want to hug you. You guys are cute. And they want to steal the pink Pokemon because people can come see pink Pokemon, and they can make money off of it.
And they're like, no, that'd be bad because you want to be taking care of the health of them. And they're like, oh, I guess that's true. Oh, let's blast off.
And then they run across Nidoking, who starts chasing them.
Oh, because they had used Lickitung to chase some Nidoran to capture them. Mm-hmm. The Nidoran got their father, Nidoking. The Nidoking was chasing them, and then the Nidoking fucking thrashed them.
Yeah. And then it's chasing down the Jeep, and it's like the scene in Jurassic Park when the T-Rex is chasing down the Jeep. And they keep sending out Pokemon, and the Pokemon keep being like, oh no, that Nidoking is scary.
Misty says, I'll send out Starmie! Starmie is what she says. No, Misty! Your Starmie is at the Cerulean Gym. You did not go back and fucking grab it, otherwise we would have wasted an episode seeing that. No! So it makes sense that your Psyduck comes out.
It does, actually. But then Psyduck is just like, I'm good, man.
That's a Nidoking. No.
Nidokings are scary, man. Especially a pink one.
So then Marill is useless, and then Ash sends out Pikachu and uses Thunderbolt, but it has no effect.
Because,
as we know,
Nidoking
is immune to electric moves
because it's rampaging!
Not because of its type.
Not because it's typing. No, it's just
no. Ground type. Yeah. No. That's fine. Marowak was hit by electric types. But rampaging Pokemon
are immune.
So then,
Officer Jenny captures it by tying it up in a rope and driving the Jeep around in circles. And someone, I think it was Tracy, was like, "Wow, oh, look, she caught it without hurting it."
And then Nidoking's on the ground, very dazed.
Yeah, almost unconscious.
It's unconscious.
Tied up, and they're like, all right, that was the thing. And then my last note here is, no, really, whose fucking story is this? Oh, because we even forgot. At the very end, Togepi does one more barrier.
Because it was going to use Hyper Beam on them, and then Togepi deflected it.
With Metronome. But they sort of mention it, I think. They're like, oh, Togepi was doing a thing?
Yeah, they're on the boat, and Misty's wagging Togepi's arms and says, guys, I think Togepi helped us out on that island.
Like, hey,
and they're like, okay,
I guess
not that excited about that.
I guess this was Togepi's arc then? I don't know.
Yeah. Careful, Misty. The last time you had a Pokemon that could have had an arc, you gave it away.
Same formula, actually, because it wasn't mentioned throughout the rest of the episode until, the very end.
Well, at least it wasn't about a completely different Pokemon.
Yeah, it kind of was. That Nidoking had way more of an arc than any other Pokemon did.
Yeah, but that Nidoking... Yeah.
So, what,
I gave it 2.
Did you? I gave it 1.5.
See, I gave it 2 because I didn't get mad at it. It was just like, this is a little dumb, but at least it's entertaining. And the Team Rocket motto did bring it up from...
the Team
a whole
Rocket
half.
motto was great. That being said, like, this episode wasn't about anything except for the Pokemon are pink.
It was...
Okay.
I remember thinking this could be a bad episode. And
Yeah.
it's subpar at best.
Because it's just like, okay, the Pokemon are pink. What does that mean? Does pink do something? No, they're just pink. Does it make them
Ash was
act
like
differently?
super worried about Pikachu.
Pikachu turning pink when he was eating the fruit. And it's like, no, it's pink.
And then he asks again. And then he's like, no.
It's just pink.
It's just pink. And
It's pink.
it's not going to eat it all the time, so you'll be fine.
It'll wear off in a little while. And then it's like, okay, well, so this episode was they find pink Pokemon and then they leave the island?
Yeah. And now the characters know that Togepi has
And
Metronome.
now the characters know that Togepi has Metronome and that pink Pokemon can exist?
Yeah.
So is that adding to the Pokemon lore at all?
I mean, to lore, yeah.
That they can turn pink?
Yeah. If you give them a Pinkenberry.
Pinkenberry?
Which that'd be cool in like the next in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon if Pinkenberries are a berry you can feed your Pokemon, so you get like a pink Togekiss.
They turn pink for like a battle or two until you put it in the box or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, this episode was
Meh.
This episode was so aggressively meh for me because there weren't any stakes. Again, there weren't any stakes in this one, so I didn't give a
Did not give a shit. That's Forest review.
Yeah, for them to at least get a 2, I at least need to be like, okay, here's what the stakes are. I can identify what the stakes are. I can't with this one.
My 2, as long as I'm not mad.
As long as you're not mad.
As long as I'm not mad, and like I laughed a couple times, and so it accomplished that.
Now I'll give you that.
My 1.5s are mad, and then my 1s are just I'm like, f***ing God, get the f*** out of here. And my
exploding
Voltorb are like, this is the worst thing ever. So I have a scale.
Yes, you have a very pronounced scale.
Yeah.
Anything else for this last episode?
Nah, I'm excited to finish through these Orange Island episodes. Wait, can we talk about though? You mentioned this. We are 8 episodes in of a 35 episode season.
Something like that, yeah.
Ash already has 1 badge.
Yep.
Now I know the last badge takes 2 episodes. Are we about to get a lot of f***ing filler?
Yeah, that's what it seems to be. Lots and lots of that delicious pink filler.
At least it's less filler than Cinnabar, pre-Cinnabar.
Yeah, but anything is.
I looked it up. I think in like the Shino seasons, there's a longer gap of gym badges.
I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah. But hey, that won't be for like another 2 years probably.
We're doing these episodes doing these podcast episodes 4 episodes at a time, and it's still like take forever because there's so many episodes. We're almost at 100 episodes, Nick.
Should we start doing 5 at a time?
We might
like
have
as
to.
a standard?
We might have to.
Okay. We'll do that starting next episode. No, let's go to 100. And then we'll do...
Okay.
Because that way it could be a nice even 105 instead of ending on like 99 and then...
Yeah, I gotcha.
Okay.
I gotcha.
Pokemon of the day! There's a Pokemon. What's it gonna be? Oh no, it's a Pokemon! Ah!
One that you love, probably.
We'll find out. The ones I hate are starting to get sparse.
Yeah, that's a good sign. That means we're
That's
getting
what I
through
say,
them.
though. That's
I
what I
know.
say, and then somehow I'm gonna pick it.
Pick a number between 3 or 1. Between 3. Pick a number
2!
between 1 and I think 349 is where we're at.
Let's do 299.
299. Alright, so Pokemon of the day is Ludicolo.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, you like Ludicolo?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. Let me pull out my.
I have yet to actually train one, I think, but I always like it says actually, let me make sure I have yet to train one. I think I was going to, but like in order to train the one I wanted to, I would have to like breed it like twice over, and because of the egg moves, and it was more trouble than I wanted. Yeah, no, I have yet to train one, but I'm excited for it.
Awesome. Let me pull up his stat page. All right, Ludicolo. What is his classification?
Should say on the top. The carefree Pokemon.
The carefree Pokemon. Really? Okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
well, I mean,
Carefree.
look at it. It's fucking dancing.
Yeah,
and, like,
it is carefree.
Woo! I'm a Mexican stereotype. Look at me.
Ludicolo.
Ludicolo.
I like yours better.
Ludicolo.
Ludicolo is a pretty cool Pokemon. Grass and water mixture. I think he's the only one. Am I right about that? Is he the only grass and water type Pokemon?
Well, Lotad.
Yeah.
And its evolution.
Lombre.
But yeah, those are the only three.
The only evolutionary line with water grass.
Water grass.
I'm going to be wrong about this, and I'm going to be mad later.
You're going to do a little forced fun fact?
Force fact, yeah.
Or, no, when there are things we're wrong about, it has to be like...
Force f***ed up.
Force f***ups.
Force f***ups. So, Ludicolo, he's, looking at his stats here, we got a very decent, special defensive stat of base of 100, and his next best stat is his special attack with 90. Neither amazing.
Special defense for 100 is pretty good. There's not a lot that has more than that.
Yeah. You usually see Ludicolo as more of a wall, but he can be used as a sweeper because his two main abilities are Swift Swim and Rain Dish.
It sounds like you'd be more of a tank in that case, unless you use Swift Swim. But Rain Dish sounds like either tank or wall, yeah.
Yeah, I have mine as a bit of a wall. My Ludicolo, named him Gene Kelly.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, he knows Rain Dance. And he knows Leech Seed and Giga Drain and Scald. And then I usually give him leftovers, so he has like the Rain Dish plus Leech Seed plus leftovers recovery with Giga Drain. And then I maxed out his special defense, and I gave him Scald to inflict burns to kind of make up for his not as good regular defense. So, so yeah, he's a pretty good Pokemon. I'd like to remake mine, but he's pretty cool.
My Ludicolo, I
one.
literally cannot pronounce the name of it because it's in Japanese.
I'm gonna say that it's Japanese. Wait, maybe it's just the. I can find out. Let's compare that.
Oh,
those
that's
characters.
gonna take too fucking long, man.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, that's
literally
Japanese.
That's the Japanese name.
Okay.
So the Japanese name for him is Run Papa.
Run, Papa.
I like that.
I might. Yeah, next Ludicolo I have, I'm gonna nickname him Run, Papa.
Run, Papa.
Run, Papa, run! No, stop dancing, Papa. They're going to chase you. Oh no, Papa. You're being beaten. It's okay, child. I will use Rain Dance and I will cover my HP very slowly at a time. No, Papa! They have poison moves, Papa!
Yeah, poison is his undoing, as is
Flying and Bug.
And Bug. But really not a bad defensive type because
no, because
none of those are going to be used a lot.
Poison's only used now because of Fairy, really.
Yeah.
And you do have the air slashes to worry about, though.
Yeah, you do, but...
He's a Paraflinch bait.
He is. And but he's got good resistance to ground, which is awesome because, you know, that
ground, water, he's immune to all the grasses, stupid effects of spore and shit. And
he's got good special defense, which I like. You can make him as a speedy sweeper too with Rain Dance with the Swift Swim ability. Choice specs Swift Swim in the rain, and like he's gonna wreck stuff.
But then you can have Mega Swampert do that same thing.
Yeah, but he's more of a special attacker, whereas Swampert is the physical attacker.
Yeah, but then you could have like Gorbis do that same thing.
Yeah, no, that's true. And Gorbis has Shell Smash.
Yeah.
But who uses Gorbis?
I use the Gorbis.
I do too. I like my Gorbis.
So there you go.
There you go.
2 out of 2 in the room.
That is true. I've also seen people before use him as a physical attacker, but with a base attack of 70, you're not gonna get a lot out of that. I love his design. And his animation is fun.
Speaking of his design, what is it? Is it a Kappa?
It looks like a duck thing that got trapped in seaweed and decided to grow a hat.
That's kind of what a Kappa is. But they take it like they add a little Mexican flair onto it because of the mariachi hat.
That is odd. That is an odd choice. I've never really understood its design. I like its design.
It's the Family Guy manatee formula, where they take one thing, they take one ball, and then take another ball, and then they say, "Oh, okay,
Water,
Mexican. It's a Mexican cop-out."
Its theme doesn't really make a lot of sense, but it's fun.
I mean, hold on.
It's adorable.
Let's look up the trivia, the origins.
There you go. All right, so Ludicolo may be, you know when they say may be, that it's pretty ambiguous.
They have to guess.
They have to guess. Maybe based on a duck, platypus, kappa, and a giant coelacanth or pineapple.
What the f*** is a coelacanth?
I have no idea. Oh, it's like a tree or a fruit?
Thing.
A vine?
A bitter apple. Redirects there, so.
Okay.
That's what that is.
So that's what that is. With its sombrero-shaped
Sombrero,
head,
that's what they're called.
poncho-like body hair. Oh, it's supposed to be hair. Never would have known that.
What did you think it was?
I just, honestly, I just kind of thought like it found some like dead seaweed on the ground and threw it over itself. Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense too. Or feathers.
In association with music and dance, it also seems to be based on a stereotypical Mexican dancer.
Yeah.
So
I called it pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So aesthetically, I'm gonna give it a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Would be higher if it was slightly less racist.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And then battle-wise, I'm gonna give it 2.5. So that averages to 2.75 Voltorbs
Okay.
on a Pokemon.
Cool.
Ludicolo!
Ludicolo is pretty cool. I would recommend using him. I would recommend the bulky variant a little bit more myself.
I would too. That's.
He makes a pretty decent support Pokemon, but he's got a lot of options. Like his move pool is
Scald. Just see some
so
Scald.
big. Like he gets knockoff and Ice Beam and Zen Headbutt and Giga Drain and Synthesis and Counter Attack. Whoa, he gets Counter. That'd be awesome. No one would expect Counter.
Ash could use him.
Yeah, because he always uses Counter Attack.
Yeah.
Caterpie, Counter Attack. Caterpie's like, what the f*** does that mean?
Pidgeotto, you have wings for appendages. Counter.
Counter. So I like Ludicolo.
It's cute.
It's cute. All right. Got anything else for this podcast today, Nick?
So we forgot to mention this, and I think by the time this episode comes up, but they're doing the Pikachu distributions right now for the 20th anniversary of the Pokemon. And where we are in this timeline, the original cap just ended. So they're in the Hoenn cap Pikachu now.
I thought they already did all that.
No, they're doing it now. So if you want a Pikachu with Ash's moveset and a little cap, I'm waiting for the Sheen, because you can only get one.
Out of all of them?
Out of all of them.
Really?
You have to choose which one you want.
That's dumb.
So I personally want the Shino hat, because that one looks the coolest. I would have done the Indigo hat, but its moveset was
yeah, I bet.
with like Thunderbolts, Agility, Quick Attack, and Thundershock. Yeah.
I guess that was his moveset, wasn't it?
I'm waiting for Volt Tackle, Iron Tail, Thunderbolt, and Quick Attack.
That's pretty good, yeah. All right, cool. I haven't mentioned this, even though we've gone through like 3 podcasts since then, but over my vacation a couple weeks ago, I played through Pokemon Yellow as if, like, in line with the Pokemon anime.
You mentioned, or was it off podcast? I don't know, sorry.
I might have mentioned it off podcast, yeah. That I was going to do that with, because I thought it'd be a cool concept, so I went out and I went online and bought the Pokemon Yellow for the 3DS, and I played it as if like I was Ash Ketchum going through, and I released my Butterfree, and it was fun. I would recommend it. I would recommend that playthrough.
Did you survive?
See, here's the thing though. You have to lose because he loses the Pokemon League. So I lost against Lance because he loses in his fifth match, and I counted Victory Road as the first match.
Gotcha.
And then I evolved my Krabby on Victory Road, and then my team for the league was Muck, Krabby / Kingler, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, and Charizard.
And Pidgeotto, yeah, okay.
Pidgeotto, yeah, I got through like 8 gyms with Pidgeotto, and then I was like, well, sorry, you're not coming with me to the league, even though I've been using you a lot.
Now, did you catch a Primeape and then release it?
Actually, You can catch all of Ash's team as they are caught in the game, except for Primeape. I mean, you can catch a wild Primeape, like, in the league, but I wanted to do it, like, so that I could use him for the fighting dojo.
So you had to use a Mankey.
So I had to catch a Mankey and then evolve into Primeape. So that was actually the only difference between my playthrough and Ash's, with other little stuff, of course.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't catch 30 Tauros. It took me 2 hours to catch one. It would have taken me, like, 4 days to catch 30 Tauros. So, no, I didn't do that. But besides that, Bulbasaur was awesome, you know, with Growth and Solar Beam and
Toxic
Seed.
And the Leech Seed.
Toxic Seed. Squirtle kind of sucked, but, you know, did what you could.
Charizard, did it disobey you a lot?
No. Because badges are a thing in the actual game, so...
Oh, and also, Sun and Moon had released a new trailer.
Uh-huh.
And they showcase a new Poké Ride feature. You can surf on Mantines. Like, wave surf.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's how you get between islands, apparently.
Ah, that's cool.
And they mentioned it in an interview with one of the video game maker dudes. But there's a studio thing where you can, like, pose with your Pokemon and stuff now and make silly pictures.
Awesome. You got anything else for this podcast?
By the time this podcast comes out, what is this?
Probably mid-October.
Mid-October. Okay, so Pokemon Sun and Moon won't be out yet. Okay, cool.
I'm excited for them now.
And you started playing Pokemon Gold?
Yeah, Gold's awesome. I miss this game so much.
Still holding out for Crystal.
You need to play. Just play Pokemon Gold and Silver, man.
Okay, but okay.
You can
get silver or gold because
get both and then have a different starter for each game.
I'm not gonna get both.
I'm gonna probably get both.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, also I have to stick with my main man Totodile.
Yeah, Totodile's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I'll do Cyndaquil after the second playthrough, and then I'll just forget it. Because I don't need Chikorita. I don't.
Chikorita's cool.
Is it?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, okay.
That's going to be a fun Pokemon of the day when we get there, isn't it? Like 10 podcast episodes from now.
It's one of my meh. It's probably my... It's... Yeah. The only starters I dislike more than Meganium are the...
Ones you actively dislike?
Are the ones I actively dislike. Which is all of the Unova starters.
Well, the only one of those I like is Superior, so...
I mean, I like Superior, but only because of hack reasons.
Yeah. Alright, well, that's it for this, I think.
Yeah, okay. Goodbye, everybody!
Bye.
Remember that if your best friend turns on you, they're probably being manipulated by psychic energies, and you should knock them unconscious.
That'll work.